I think we can all agree that Volkswagen's GTI is the king of the hot hatchbacks, right? I mean, you can make a point for the Civic Type R, but good luck getting your hands on one of those. But I digress. The point is that if the GTI is the king of the hot hatchbacks, then what does that make the 2018 Golf R? It's much more powerful, more nimble twin sister. Well, that's what I aim to find out today, and I can't wait to chuck this thing into some corners, so let's cut to the chase and hit the road. I guess the best place to start is going to be in the engine bay, where like the GTI, it's powered by a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. However, in this case, it's been amped up to output 292 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. That's like a 70 horsepower gain over the GTI, and it makes good use of it, sending it through its 4-motion all-wheel drive system where the rubber meets the road. Now, this Golf R features a 6-speed manual transmission, but you can also have it with a 6-speed dual-clutch automatic. Now, the automatic's definitely the fastest way to 60, with launch control getting you there in under 5 seconds, but I think the manual's definitely going to be the most fun way to get down a road, and that's what we're going to stick with today. Now, the 4-motion system is an on-demand system, which means it can decouple the rear axle and go full-on front-wheel drive to save fuel when you're just cruising on the highway or in low-load situations. But when you get on the throttle, it can instantly reconnect the rear axle to give you torque at the back end when you're doing things like accelerating or powering through a corner. Now, that 4-motion system is augmented by Volkswagen's XDS Plus differential system. It's sort of a brake biasing system that uses the brakes to force its open differentials to perform like a limited slip, but it gets the job done. Plus, we've also got Volkswagen's DCC adaptive suspension, which has 3 different settings of firmness, ranging from comfort to sport to race mode, my personal favorite. All in, that means that the Golf R is a very flexible car that you can drive around in its comfort setting and it won't rattle your teeth out. It's a nice daily driver, but then you can drop it into its race mode and the exhaust livens up. The car just sounds so much better. The steering and everything sharpens up and it just becomes a fun car to chuck into a corner. I know what you're asking yourself, is it more fun than the GTI? Well, duh, yeah. You've got a lot more grip, you've got a lot more power, which means that you can go around corners significantly faster. You can just toss this thing in and power your way through in ways that you can't do with the front-wheel drive Golf. But that said, I don't really feel like I'm getting 100% of this car's performance envelope on the street. You're gonna want to take it to the track, and if you don't, probably stick with the Golf. It's just a much more fun and more playful car at lower limits like this. Now, this isn't a stripped out race car. The Golf R actually has a pretty solid level of tech, starting in the dashboard with the 8-inch Volkswagen CarNet infotainment system and in the instrument cluster with the fully digital setup we've got here. We talk more about it in a separate video. You'll want to check that out there. Of course, we've also got the full complement of Volkswagen's driver aid technologies with things like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping steering assist, automatic emergency braking on the front and on the rear. This thing is fully loaded, and that just goes to show you that Volkswagen didn't want this to be some rattle your teeth out stripped down race car. It's a fully featured premium daily driver, and that just makes it worth the extra money that you have to pay over the Golf to get it. Speaking of the extra money, let's talk about that. The 2018 Golf R starts at $39,375 and it's fully loaded, so you don't need to worry about options. But still, it's a pretty significant price premium over the GTI, which tops out at $35,000. But it's money well spent and worth every penny for the performance upgrade, trust me. And that brings us to the first way that you can think about the Golf R here. It's a slightly more expensive but much more capable version of the GTI for those with track ambitions, where you can better take advantage of its more generous performance envelope. Then again, if you're never going to hit the track, maybe just save your money and go with the GTI. It's still a fun car on the road. However, the way that I like to think about the Golf R is as a more compact, less expensive version of Audi's S3 sports sedan. I mean, you get the same powertrain and a lot of the same techs available, but at a price that's around $4 grand less. And that's money you can reinvest into tires and track days, so it's a win-win. The magic of the Golf R is that it can be both of those things at the same time, and either way you look at it, it's a winner. If you're like me and you like your car's compact but a little thick in the back, I think you're going to prefer the R over the S3 that I mentioned, but I want to know what you think. Let us know in the comments below. Sedan or hatchback? Golf R or Type R? Let's talk sport compacts, and while you're down there, hit the subscribe button and visit theroadshow.com for even more dope rides like this.